What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. It is August 21st, and I'm making this video. We still have an hour and 10 minutes to go in the day, but it's a very, very slow day. So I really don't see myself making any more trades. I made 2 trades today. There were 2 small wins. Nothing to write home about, but I really didn't get a lot of follow through and continuation on stuff. Very similar day to what we saw yesterday. Yesterday was a very low volume day, not a lot of action. Today, same thing. Very low volume day, not a lot of action. We had this LEDS small cap, made a lot of noise early on in the day, did not have enough juice to get through a major resistance level at $4. Made a little bit of money on LEDS. I made a little bit of money short PDD. So today, very similar, kind of like what we saw yesterday. And today I'm just taking what the market gives me. I'm not pressing. I'm not pushing. The previous video I made was talking about knowing when to hit the brakes. And today's really just a reiteration of that lesson, because after my 2 small wins in the morning, I really pulled the reins back, recognized the slowness, recognized the lack of volatility. Guys, before the Fed minutes came out, the SPY was in a 75-cent range. Okay, that is a very, very tight range on the SPY. So the large caps, mid caps were pretty quiet. Volume was light, like we said, and small caps were low on volume also, except this LEDS actually had good volume in the morning, but the volume has completely dried up, as you guys can see. I mean, you see the volume ever since that. The morning had good volume, and then ever since then, it's just been a desert. It's just been a desert. So let's get to the trades today, guys. Again, like I said, 2 small wins, just taking what the market gives me, and staying disciplined and trying to protect my profits and not just continue to push and push and push, because I just don't see that type of action to do that. So, all right, guys. So here we go. LEDS shoots up here right off the bell, puts in the initial morning high. There's your initial morning high right there. Okay. So what I was waiting for was a pullback back into retest that level. I loved the volume in the first 30 minutes of the day on LEDS. Loved it. Real strong, consistent volume on the push higher. Very low decrease in volume during the brief little pullback. Then the heaviest volume of the day, consistent, strong volume through that initial morning high. This is a picture-perfect textbook setup to give you continuation and follow through. I really do think if it was not the end of August, I really think if it was October or November, I think LEDS goes to $455 today easy. If small caps were hot. If small caps were hot and we were in a hot market, this easily sees $455. Because this action, okay, with that volume is picture perfect. You also got a trade line view up crossover right there at where the initial morning high. Okay, so what I was looking for here was a pullback after establishing that new high, where I can look for some support to kick in here in front of the initial morning high and in front of this trade line, because of this trade line view up crossover. So on this pullback right there is where I got some shares, LEDS at $3.58. Take it to my trade announcements here, you guys can see. Here we are, 9:58. So the PDD short was the first trade of the day, but let me get to this LEDS trade first, because that's what I had on my screen. So you guys can see I'm long at 358. Stop loss is below that initial morning high area. So there's the entry, and we push up here, and it looked like we were going to break through the high of the day. And as soon as we got to the high of the day, $3.85, we got stuffed. Okay, we got up there. A lot of shares started going off, 384, 385, 384, 385, 385, 385, and just could not, I got to sneeze, and just could not get through that 385. So as soon as I saw that, knowing in the back of my head, small caps have not given us a lot of continuation, I took some profit off the table right there at 381. So here you guys can see I took some profit off LEDS, 381, still holding some. Okay, just being smart, because we got stuff there. I know we haven't had a lot of volume, a lot of continuation on small caps, so I'm just playing it smart, but the pattern is still intact. Okay, the pattern is still intact. So we kind of pull in, we're still holding the trade line. Trade line comes into effect again, holds support, pushes us through. We make a new high with real strong volume. And at that point, I was like, okay, now we're going to go. And again, we got stuffed and rejected again. When we got stuffed and rejected again, guys, I lightened my position. Okay, I took more off at 365 just because for us to break through the high of the day and get rejected like that again, I didn't like it. All right, so I took more profit off the table right there after that rejection at 365. And then I'm still long that one last piece because we are still holding this trade line. And then bang, we break through the high of the day. And again, huge volume. And now I'm saying, now we're going to go. Now I'm going to get ready. I'm going to start to throw some shares out around 450. And as soon as we broke through 4, we got smoked. It was smoked. Just did not have the juice and the momentum to continue. And I got flat again at 365. Okay, here you guys can see final take profit at $3.65. So I'm long at 358. I sold some at 381, and I sold the rest at 365. So a small win, really by all means nothing to write home about. But if this was October, November, and if small caps were hot, I think this thing explodes and probably halts and continues up to $5. But that's not the kind of market that we're in. Small caps haven't been giving us continuation. So short traders that short the small caps, have been very confident in the last couple weeks. They've been very aggressive because you're just not getting the follow through. It's going to take like a 400 or 500% runner where a stock just goes up the whole day to burn the shorts before they start to back off. Because right now they're getting paid handsomely for holding on to their shorts. I mean, look at DPW the other day, was pathetic. Okay, LEDS, another one, completely falling apart after. I mean, look at this thing, all the way back down to 281. So shorts are very confident right now in small caps. So you guys have to keep that in mind. And they're confident, rightfully so. You've not gotten really good continuation on these small caps. So if you wait for that morning push, you short the morning push, the stock is running out of steam pretty quickly and just fades off the rest of the day. And all you have to do is wait for the push, short it, and just hold on to your position. And the stock gives it all back by the end of the day. That's what you've seen in LEDS today. You saw it in DPW yesterday. You saw it in RKDA. You saw it in SINT. You're seeing it in all these small caps. So that's why the shorts are very confident with these small caps. Now we'll go to PDD. This was a mid cap that I shorted in the morning because of what I thought was going to be an exhaustion gap up into a key area of resistance. You guys can see all this resistance up here. Okay, I just didn't think that this stock was going to have enough juice to push and continue. I thought we were going to fade this gap just a little bit here today. Kind of felt like this was an exhaustion gap up. So I went in there today, zoom this in, and I start to see this little wedge pattern start to form. Okay, right off the bell. It's an early wedge pattern. And I went ahead and I jumped in here short right there. Take it to my trade announcement so you guys can see short PDD 5 minutes into the open. So short PDD at 29.70. Stop loss is going to be above that $30 area. Okay, so here we are short 29.70. We break down below this wedge and then we kind of held a double bottom right here. We held this double bottom and had a quick squeeze move up to actually we printed a new high of the day there. We actually printed a new high at 30.05, and as soon as we printed that new high, the stock got whacked. Okay, I mean we went from 30.05 down to 29.70 like that. I mean this thing just got whacked. So then it was trading like 29.65, 29.68, 29.72, 29.73, 29.70. And it couldn't get back to that $30 mark. Then I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to add to this position here, and that's officially my stop loss becomes that high. So I actually added, you guys can see here, added to tier 3, okay, 29.71. Stop loss 30.05. So pretty much the same price. I just added to the position. And then we dropped real quick here, right down to the low of the day, and I took some profit. I covered 29.05 right here in front of the low of the day. I covered some 29.05. We broke the low of the day. I was actually ready to take some profits off at 28.75 and to stop at 28.86 and then bounce back. And I never got another chance to take profits off on that position until it started to recover, and I covered the rest for a final take profit at 29.53. So I made about 20 cents a share on the bulk of the position. I ended up covering right there. Okay, there is where I covered the rest of the position, and it was a good move because the stock has continued high. You just saw it wasn't going to collapse. It wasn't going to pull itself in. So there's the short entry. There's the first take profit. There's the second take profit. Again, a small win, nothing to write home about. You know, I didn't get follow through on either one of these moves, but sometimes that's how it is. You got to take what the market gives you, not push, not just continue to push. I shut it down the rest of the day. I went into scan mode, and my scanners were extremely quiet. My scans were had really nothing going on. This RBZ got some people excited later in the afternoon, but I just, I'm not really paying attention to it. So this is now the new top gainer. Oh no, WTRH is the top gainer of the day again, but very low volume. I can't trade these stocks. The volume is just too light. You're talking here. Here's a 3-minute candle with 2,400 shares. It's a $1.80 stock. My position alone would be, many times larger than that. So I just can't trade these stocks that I just have this real low volume. So that's really it. I just shut it down the rest of the day, guys. I'm just going to protect my profits. 2 small wins. Take what the market gives you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see if we get a little bit better action. Take care.